Hello Internet! Today it's time for the BookTube-A-Thon TBR. The BookTube-A-Thon is my absolute favorite readathon. I enjoy participating in it every single year. I've been doing it since 2015, before I was even on BookTube, and I'd really found a lot of BookTube, weirdly enough. And so this will be my fourth BookTube-A-Thon, and I'm really excited. For those of you that don't know, BookTube-A-Thon is a week-long readathon hosted by Ariel Bissett. I will link her announcement video down in the description, but this year it is going to be July 30th through August 5th, and let's get into the reading challenges and the books I've picked out for my TBR. This is the only readathon where I always try to go for the 7 books. I've never been successful, but I always try. So let's get started. The first reading challenge is to let a coin toss decide your first read. Since I'm actually going to attempt to read 7 books, I decided to start off with something short. So I have 2 books that the coin is going to pick for me. The first is Quidditch Through the Ages. It is a very short book. And the second one is March Book 1 by John Lewis, Andrew Aiden, and Nate Powell, and this is a fairly short graphic novel. So we'll say March is going to be heads and Quidditch is going to be tails. And I've got my quarter. Alright, I've never been particularly good with the whole coin tossing thing, so let's see how this works. So we got tails, which means my first book will be Quidditch Through the Ages. It is high time I got to this anyway, so I'm kind of glad it landed on this one because I've owned this book for a really long time. The second reading challenge is to read a book about something you want to do. So for this one, I chose Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson because this book features 2 main characters that go on a road trip. And I've always wanted to take like a really long road trip with someone. Where like the whole purpose of your trip is to just go on a road trip without like expressly traveling to a certain place. I think that would be a lot of fun. So this is book number 2. The third reading challenge is to read and watch a book-to-movie adaptation. And for this I have chosen Mary Poppins by P.L. Travers. I remember trying to read this as a kid, but I never finished it. And I remember it was very different from the movie, but now that I actually know more about kind of the history between the book to movie adaptation, I think this will be really interesting to read this book and then watch the Disney movie Mary Poppins afterwards. And actually I've downloaded the audiobook for this one on Overdrive, so I think it'll be a fun experience, and it'll be the first audiobook I listen to for the readathon too. The fourth challenge is to read a book with green on the cover, and for that I have chosen The Miseducation of Cameron Post by Emily M. Danforth. Now actually I could use this as my book to movie adaptation too, because this movie comes out towards the end of BookTube-A-Thon, but in the likelihood that I probably won't have time to go see it that quickly, I decided to use it for green on the cover instead. Yes, this is the movie cover. For some reason, I cannot find this book in the regular cover in stores, but I want to read it before I go see the movie, so I just decided to let it go and buy the movie cover, and I like the movie cover. It's cute. The spine looks relatively the same as the regular cover too, so that's fine. But there is some green in the grass behind the characters, so very excited to read this book. The fifth challenge is to read a book while wearing the same hat the whole time. I haven't decided what hat I'm going to use for this yet. I think it depends on where I decide to read the book, that makes sense. Like if I decide to read it outside, I may choose one with a little more coverage, or if I choose to read it inside, I'm just going to pick a random hat. So I'm not going to show off the hat in this video, you just have to wait for my vlog to find out, because I am planning on vlogging the week of BookTube-A-Thon. But the book I chose for this one is The Witch Doesn't Burn in This One by Amanda Lovelace. This is her second poetry collection. I wanted to choose something kind of short for the hat challenge just because I do have to work all week that week, and it is going to be kind of a hard week for me, just personally. So I'm not going to have a whole lot of chances to read a book while wearing a hat necessarily, so I wanted to pick something short, but I do think this challenge is kind of hilarious. The sixth challenge is to read a book with a beautiful spine, and for this one I chose From Twinkle with Love by Zendaya Manon. This spine is so dang cute. This is the Alcrate exclusive edition, by the way. And actually, I read When Dimple Met Rishi for the BookTube-A-Thon last year, so I thought it would be very appropriate to read her second book during this year's BookTube-A-Thon. And the last challenge is, of course, to just read 7 books, so I decided that I needed to pick something from my August TBR, which I haven't uploaded yet, but I'm planning on doing like a month-long readathon Newt's readathon. If you don't know what that is, I'm going to be posting my TBR soon. But I wanted to pick something from that TBR so I don't get behind, basically. So I am going to be picking up Unravel Me by Tara Mafi. And this is going to be the audiobook I listen to after I finish Mary Poppins. So that will complete my 7 books. So this is my TBR for the week of BookTube-A-Thon. I'm very excited to see how many of these I get to. I would love to get to all 7, but if nothing else, I'm hoping to at least get 4 of these knocked out that week, 4 or 5. So let me know down in the comments if you're reading any of these books for BookTube-A-Thon, and I'll see you guys next time with another video. Bye!